Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just getting loaded up here. Let me put this on Twitter so everyone knows I'm streaming. Give me 1 second. All right. Hope everybody had a great trading day today. Just want to kind of go over a couple different situations, a couple different things that happened today. Primarily, just kind of start with the SPY. You know, like I said in the tweet earlier, we're still under the 10 MA on the monthly, but obviously it came up. Today was interesting, or it's showing on the weekly, right? We had the inside week, right? And, had a big gap down today and kind of reclaimed a lot. So it's tough to really trade that unless you were just anticipating that, which is, something you can do. I mean, the range of last week was 685, so you could have bought, whatever, $600 worth of options and puts, and then, lucked out, today that we opened so far down. You'd have had to punch out really quickly because we're coming back, into that inside range, which is also tradable, right? So, anytime you reclaim a range, it's tradable to do that. So here, the last week's low was 274.30, and we closed today at 273.61. And we're gapping down a little bit, right? Futures are down again. And VIX is up, on the on your futures. So so we'll probably be gapping down again tomorrow, or who knows? Anything could change by the morning, or we could be down huge. There's some thought out there that today was kind of like a false rally type thing, and we might see some more down moves. We just got to see what the market gives us, and just keep, just trade the best setups we can, right? Usually, like I said, with the 60 time frames, usually something good is going to set up intraday, somewhere on the watch list, somewhere on the game plan, where you can catch a good move where, the futures are pointing up, say for instance, VIX is pointing down, and you get a nice juicy inside 60 that you can take to the upside, right? So, SPY is actually really interesting right here. Look, it closed under its 250-day moving average, but it's been under its 200-day for a very long time. So it gave some effort today, but if it's gapping down, the longer it stays under these two moving averages right here, it's really tough to make a bullish case, right? I mean, this, we're pretty much flipped over. I mean, this here, even just so you know, is, what is this, like a classic double top, I guess. It comes up again, and then I guess like your short is somewhere over here-ish, right? You can see it came back up again and then just got demolished. So anyway, interesting. We'll see. I don't have any overnight, so I'm not too worried. So we'll just take a look at what we got going tomorrow. So I wanted to start with the SPY, but I want to talk about Tesla. There's some special requests on Tesla. Plus, Tesla is pretty awesome today. It's an example of watching price action, watching your watch list, seeing what's happening, and going on. So this morning I actually retweeted. I saw Citron came out with some bullish news on Tesla, and Citron's been give or take, but they do interesting research, and I mean, what can we say? Their tweets and their ideas move markets. They really do. I mean, sometimes they don't. Like, they were short Nvidia a while back. I'll get to Tesla here in a second. They were short Nvidia a while back, and it rallied. But look, if you look at long term, I mean, they're pretty much right on it. I mean, Nvidia is hurting right now, so it's way under its 200 and 250 moving averages, and the 8s, the 20s, and everything are coming back down. I mean, it's like, true downtrend situation here. So anyway, back to Tesla. So the big deal with Tesla today, obviously, that tweet didn't hurt things, and there was some other good news too. Like Elon came out and had some other posts about numbers and things like that. So I think we've got earnings coming up. What is this, tomorrow? I mean, you saw what happened last earnings. It was just incredible. I mean, Elon gave like that speech afterward. I mean, the numbers were terrible, and he was just talking up. I mean, it just ripped. I mean, the numbers were bad, and it was still doing awesome. So I mean, Tesla earnings are pretty fun to watch. But this huge bar today was incredible, right? And it's got a lot of volume too. So that's really positive. And it's come this 300 level for Tesla. I've had several range drawings on that. It's been a pretty amazing bar. Look, it pretty much ticked that. I mean, 297.93, but it looks like it pretty much ticked that area. that prior range I had, pretty well. And I think it was from the big gap down day. It's like almost like that halfway mark there. But yeah, so really big day today. And just to show you what happened on the hourlies today, and props to the people in my stream who tweeted this today, because it really gave a good trade. Had an awesome run up, right? Citron had made their tweet early this morning, so I had a good run up. And then I love when like it does this, right? So it pauses, goes inside 60, right, over the VWAP, perfect inside over the VWAP, and look, and that's where you go long. You take it long over that with a stop at the bottom of it, right? So the range here is $40.33. So your entry is 278.45, and just take it up, and with your stop here. So you could have just traded this first bar, which was 278 all the way up to 284. So an awesome 6-point move. Or you could have like trimmed and trailed and just taken it all the way up today. It was really just and like it went inside 60 again and then up again. So this here was but that wasn't inside. Gosh, it looks inside. It was still momentum though. I mean, that's a momentum hammer, so you could still trade that definitely, and then take that up for another $3 right there. So I mean, there's lots of money to be made on Tesla today. The question is tomorrow, is it going to continue into an earnings run? So it's interesting. So we look here at how it closed, and I almost was interested in taking it overnight because it had such a solid move up, but I didn't like how it came back in and kind of gave like a shooter right here. Granted, it's green, so it's not overly bearish, but it's still interesting to watch. So I'll put an alert on that just to see what it does in the morning. A break of this high of today's high is still going to be very bullish for it tomorrow. Obviously, I wouldn't hold anything to earnings. Let's take a look at the options on this. Paying $13 for a call. I mean, look at the puts. I mean, we're paying like $18 for puts on Tesla. I mean, it's just not happening. These are, I wouldn't spend $2, $3 on an option with Tesla. So for me, not going to trade options into earnings, but we'll see what happens afterwards. So we could see here if it breaks today's high, then you could see some I think some potential follow through into earnings, and then what it does after earnings, who knows? It'll be it'll definitely get your popcorn out, because it'll definitely be a show to watch. So I wanted to touch on this. I want to talk about Facebook today, because I profiled it yesterday on a double inside day strategy. And there's like it's like this hidden rule, if it gaps more than 2% or something like that, it's kind of off the trading list, and it's still worth watching. And I did trade it today just because it gave a solid 60 when the market was coming back up. So here you'll see, yesterday was a double inside day. So we had this mother bar right here, went inside here, and then this one went inside that one. So you have your double inside day, right? So, you get ooh. Hello. All right, yeah, there. And then when you go double inside, you're basically forming like a wedge type pattern, right? So so a breakout to the top or bottom is usually significant on these, especially on momentum stocks like Facebook. But we gapped all the way down here, right? So we closed yesterday 154, and we opened today at 151. So you're like $3 move, $3 gap on Facebook is a lot. 50 cents or $1 is fine. You can trade that. So like I said yesterday in the video, if it was kind of gapping down to here, I would have definitely went long into this range, right? But today, I was hoping, mostly just looking for a gap fill, right? And that doesn't mean it can't be traded tomorrow, but let's take a look at this right here. So, so what I traded today was this right here, this inside 60 right here, and broke to the upside. I think opened here, kind of come down a little bit and broke to the upside, and then I just basically had a nice move. I think it moved like 30 cents. I trimmed, I did calls on it, so I trimmed some of the calls and moved the rest to profit and stopped to profit on it, and just kind of held it there. And then here, this red bar represents yesterday's low. And so I wanted to see how much strength it could get, right? Trying to break into that range. And it went over it, right? It went high as, what is that? I think 80 cents? Yeah, 154.77. So 30 cents in. and then came back in, and then it tried it again later and then came back in. So it was almost worth like kind of shorting it from there. But it ended up closing under that range again. So, and I believe it is inside 62, right? So that is definitely worth watching for tomorrow at the open. I don't know why I don't have an alert on it. I might, but I don't see it. So, so we'll take a look at that just to see if it can pick up some of the momentum that it calmed down. And that's the thing with with trading that I've learned is like when you're going for a breakout, especially a breakout play that is a couple dollars away, it takes a lot of energy to get it to that point, right? So if you look here, and that's why I don't trade huge gaps down. Now, granted, this was a good trade to try to trade just the gap fill, and the high here was 152, so 150. So you're looking for a 2-point, goal on that one. So a little bit better than 1-to-1 risk reward on that. But there's a higher chance when the market's going up that this is going to do the gap fill. And so, anyway, it takes a lot of energy, obviously, to get to that point, right? And we didn't have a lot of volume either. So it's hard to anticipate at that point that there's going to be huge energy to push back through that range, right? To retest that double inside day range. I think there's a good opportunity tomorrow to do that, right? So let's watch the 60 at the open and see what it does. You can see this 5 moving average is about to cross back over. And and the VWAP is it's all over the VWAP. So let's see what that VWAP does. If that VWAP curls up and breaks over the 5 and or the 9 and 10 and keeps going up, I mean tomorrow might be a good day for Facebook. So we'll see. We'll see what it has. And then basically just wanted to take a look at a couple things. I noticed there was some insider selling going on with Netflix, and it had some pretty interesting news today. It's like been spending a ton of money trying to develop content. And I think today might be actually a gift, honestly, but who knows? I mean, right? But anybody who's trying to get out, and I mean, I think like the CEO just dumped like $34 million worth of shares. So we'll see what this does tomorrow. It looks like it might want to come. It's over the 200-day. So, but if it breaks that 200-day back down, there could be some issues for Netflix here. And so also last week was a shooter week, right? So if it comes back down that shooter week, it might at least test that 308 level, which is pretty significant. It's like $15 away. So could be interesting. The only problem with Netflix these days is premiums are so high. I thought they'd drop after. Well, it's not too bad right now, but $6 is still pretty high. Again, I like this $2.50, $3 range, but it's still better than Tesla. I thought it would be a lot more drop in implied volatility, but no such luck. Anyway, that's pretty much it. One more thing. I've got my eyes on Walmart. I might actually swing this. I might do this in my long-term account, like the IRA or something like that, because I mean this setup is almost perfect, right? You got this beautiful cup and handle here, and then inside 60 to close, obviously, so if that takes it to the upside. But the last earnings gap here, right, never filled, right? It stayed, pretty constructive the whole time, and it's built this, what do they say, from contraction comes expansion. So, I mean, it's been here in this range for quite a while. So, and it looks like it's getting ready to break out. And it's had some pretty good news recently. So, a nice bullish engulfing day with this breakout level coming, right? And the weekly, right? We took the inside week up, right? It's positive over the week. It's positive over the inside month too. So I mean, everything about this stock is pointing to the upside. So obviously the market is kind of pointing down, and we'll see. But gosh, if this thing, I don't know how much longer it can wait before it goes up further. So it's definitely worth trying. So that's pretty much everything I have to review tonight on the charts. I posted a bunch to Twitter. So at this point, if anybody has any questions about trading ideas or specific chart requests that they'd like me to just take a look at on the different time frames, just kind of give my input on it, I'm happy to do that. And share whatever knowledge I've got, so to help you make decisions for yourself for trading. So feel free to type anything in the chat window, a question, a stock you'd like to see, and I'll be happy to do that. I had a bunch of great questions last night, so and if you don't if you don't have anything right now, feel free to throw anything on Twitter. I usually get to that, and then you could also put it in the YouTube comment box later. And I get those go right to my email, so I can answer any questions I can there too. So I think I covered just about everything I wanted to. So today was definitely an interesting day. That huge gap down. I thought we were done. I thought we were done for. I thought we were going to have like a $1,000, or I'm sorry, 1,000. Yeah, I mean 1,000 point move down in the Dow today, but didn't happen. Market came right back up again. It's crazy how it does that. But who knows? We'll see what tomorrow's got to bring. AMD, of course, is always fun to trade. We have this the 5MA crossing over the 10MA now. Went inside day yesterday. And it had some relative strength today too. Everything was gapping down. This thing really didn't gap down that much. And so it took a while, but entering into that, it came down and reclaiming that inside day ended up being a pretty good move for, you can make about a point on AMD there. And so this ended up being a nice reversal bar. So a break over that could be very interesting tomorrow. And and it went inside 62. It's red, but it's over the VWAP, and the 5MA is over the 10MA on the 60s, so this could give some move too. And it looks like we got earnings on this as well after the market. So we've got huge earnings coming this week. It's going to be pretty fun just to watch and see, and then try to trade for reversals or gap and goes as it makes sense. McDonald's was a good one. I didn't even get a chance to look at that today, but I mean that was a true gap and go right there. Look at that bar, beautiful. And it gave a nice close for the day too. I like McDonald's here on the daily too. It's got a chance to break this to the upside, I think, for another point if it does it. So should be good. Well, if there's no questions tonight, again, feel free to put them in the comments or send me a tweet. And I hope that was helpful. Just kind of give you some insights in a couple different stocks, and I hope some of the tweets are helpful too. So I hope everybody has a good night and a good trading day tomorrow, and I will catch you later.